Welcome back, everybody except Dave. Dave, you are not welcome back. Just kidding.
Oh, I have to finish drinking my tea.
See, that's
Nah,
so
I
cool
don't.
because YouTube's not gonna understand why that's funny. Sorry, YouTube. Guess you
I
better
don't
watch
think
the
you
show
even can
live.
barely understand why it's funny, but it's good. It's all good.
So, anyway,
Ooh.
where were we? There we are. So we need to see what you can get off this hard drive because there's some pay data in there. This is the realness. It's been looking at it. You can see, and maybe we fade in on Iori. You're at your desk and you have your like 26 monitors or whatever all bathing you in their green matrixy glow, and there's a yeah, like you're running an assessment of the data that you have. And like I said before, just based on looking at it initially, you can tell that it was pushed down somehow into like another layer of storage that shouldn't really be able to store data. No normal computer system would even have been able to detect that it was there. And it looks like a program automatically just was run on the server, scrubbing it of particular data. Now, you have mundane computer equipment. Admittedly, you can use it to do things most people can't. But to be able to scavenge this data, you will have to work a magical effect.
I am totally prepared to do so in my sanctum.
Okay. All right. So, are you alone when you do this? Is this a everyone is in the room waiting to see what happens kind of thing? Or is Kaguya and Lyric downstairs having pizza while you're working?
Just like full on pizza party downstairs. No, I think I'm.
You're always just like, can I have some pizza? No, get back to work.
Order in from Little Caesars. Get the crazy bread.
Ugh. Um, no, I'm hovering, in as much as Iori will permit me to hover.
Yeah, I think both Lyric and Kaguya are fine to be in here while I do this. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So your sanctum smells slightly of pizza. And yeah, Lyric.
Like
Lyric
100% of the time.
Lyric has brought up the box. There's still like a third of a pizza, and yeah, they're sitting on your couch eating one, and attempting not to touch anything with their greasy piece of pizza fingers.
Okay.
So while that's happening, go ahead and let's figure out your role here. So it's a data spell, a data rote, right? And let's see, you have your usual equipment, which you need. You don't have a personal item from the target. Not spending any quintessence, you're not fast casting. Okay, cool. So none of the difficulty modifiers apply. It is a... Okay, so it's a vulgar effect because you're doing something that shouldn't be possible, right? Like,
Right.
there are no witnesses because there's no person watching you, but this is the kind of thing where this is just not how computers work. You're storing stuff in trinary bits, and it's like it's not an okay, like it's as vulgar to a computer scientist as bending the laws of physics would be to a physicist.
Yeah, like the data's aren't stored in ones and zeros. They're stored in like twos.
Yeah, twos.
Just
Yeah, totally. Which means that
Okay.
whoever stored this, whoever did this, is either a virtual adept or someone with a similar paradigm.
Okay.
So you're going to generate 1 point of paradox, and you're going to, yeah, you're going to go ahead and make that roll. It's going to be a difficulty 6, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, difficulty 6, correspondence.
I'm going to spend my last point of willpower
Now
as well.
let's double check because you haven't done anything in your sanctum in a while. What is the effect of being in your sanctum?
I think it makes everything coincidental. Actually, I think
What's-
that is like the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would mean
be
that in
useful.
Dave's sanctum, or in Iori's sanctum rather, like data does work this way.
Yep.
And it is cool.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right. So that's nice for you. You won't take that paradox, and it'll be one less difficulty.
Yeah, let me just double check there's nothing else. I think there's stuff to do with rituals as well, but I'm not doing a ritual. Yeah, I think it's just this. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I will use my last willpower on it as well.
Okay.
Difficulty down to 5. Is this not vulgar anymore?
Correct.
That's green.
It is indeed. Awesome. The irony, though, being that if you rolled a 10 and a fail, it would still be green, or a 10 and a 1. Oh no, it would be blue because ones take away the yeah. And color
Green's
code.
always good.
It's beautiful. Cool. Okay, so it's a coincidental effect, and
Oh, that's 2 successes then.
you start to detangle you're rebuilding it essentially. You're clearing away the cruft of like actual data and bringing up this like hyper data basically.
Yeah, it's like in the same way that I do with other stuff. It's kind of rebuilding it more as ideas than data itself. Like, even if it is zeros, ones, and twos, that like still tells me stuff. So I'm getting like the way the person was thinking when they were writing this more than what the data actually shows.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is why I can decrypt it when it shouldn't be able to be done on a computer anyway.
Yeah. You're again the metadata. You're looking at other things. Okay, so it predominantly shows like the easiest stuff to get at is also kind of the least relevant. It's the fact that Dr. Shankar ever worked here, like her class schedule, that kind of stuff. There's like payroll information, her employee like number, records about that stuff, when she took sick days, things like that. But as you dig through it, you do end up finding a like server side stored version of some of her notes on some various like projects. A lot of it is like class stuff. But you are able to pull up bits and pieces of a log or like a journal.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. So I think once you've got that data, it'll take another roll to like dig through it and like make sense of it.
That's entirely fine.
In the same way that
Yeah. Just
Litany had to roll.
yeah. Before I do that, I at least like get from this what subject they taught, because that I couldn't even get that last time.
Yes. Yeah. She was in the biology department.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's a biologist.
Well, that makes
Particularly,
sense.
her specialty seems to be particularly in, I don't know enough about biology to know how it would be categorized, but like plant biology, undersea plant biology, and like she wrote a lot of stuff about using like algae as an energy source, stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay.
she's won several awards for for like green energy projects and oceanography. So ocean stuff and biology power. Yeah.
So to skim and study this, I guess it's intelligence and research, maybe intelligence and research, because I'm like researching through data.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, my specialty is in philosophy, so getting ideas of overall concepts and understanding like theories. So I don't know if that applies to this.
I don't know. Not this particularly. Like if you read her thesis, you could try to understand the philosophy behind why the science why she's pursuing the science. But in this case, you're trying to take apart, like trying to make a larger understanding of just her general like notes and her logs.
Yep, that's fine.
Sorry, hold on. Hillary, we can't hear you.
Would this not be academics then?
Uh,
Is this Is this like having knowledge about a thing or actively researching a thing?
So, okay, so what you're actually trying to do, just to be like really clear here, is you're trying to make sense of her notes, right? Like, because she has all these like research notes that she's taken on various projects, and it's going to take you a lot of time to decipher them. Some of them are written in her shorthand, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Cool.
So, yeah, in this
Because I guess it could
case,
be science or academics or research, kind of depending.
right? Yeah, it's a lot of the stuff. I would say in this case, it's research because you're sitting down with a body of data and trying to like make sense out of it. Um, the second role could be like, cool, okay, now you know what it's about, but do you understand it? Roll academics, or
Sure.
roll science, right? But yeah, you got lots of overlap there.
Okay, and difficulty 6.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, difficulty 6. That's fine.
Oh,
There you go.
got it.
Well, it's a good result. Okay, cool.
Yep, not bad.
So you look at, so there's two subsets of files, right? There's her like personal logs, which you're able to separate from her like scientific logs, and it looks like her work, like I said, primarily focuses on the application of her research on a like genetic level, and there's some correspondence between her and the like some noted figures in the like field of genetics. So there's some talk about like gene splicing and genetic manipulation. It appears to be on the like cellular organism level, like breeding particular kinds of single-celled creatures or whatever. It's all like really dry, basically, to you.
Yeah. What is this reminding me of?
I don't
The
know.
it's like no, carry on. I'll remember.
And then her personal logs, they're not like dear diary, such and such, but she does have some personnel files, and you definitely notice, that there's one folder in particular. So there's a bunch of like student files and like other people she's working with and like notes about them and stuff. There's a folder that has been like intentionally corrupted, like past the point of what you can get. It wasn't stored on the server level, or the server was like, taken apart. But there's a folder, and in the folder there were files that are like subject 2x574 Clifford Davies, subject 2x576 quote quote ocean, right? And so there's like each of your mentors has like a file, but when you open them, it throws an error, and it's like this file is no longer accessible.
Yep. Okay. Good. So I have a rough idea of what they were working on, why it would tie them to Kaguya's mentor.
I actually think, you know what? I actually think that there is a file that's like partially like retrievable in there, and it's the file on Dr. Taylor. Just because the file was quite large, and it looks like whatever program or whatever like virus was sent in to like nuke those files, it got most of this one, but not all of it, because it's the biggest like personnel file.
Okay.
And I think that there's some notes. Actually, there's like a video file in this one.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. So I'll be like, Kaguya, you might be interested in this one specifically, and then I'll play it.
Okay. All right. So it flickers on, and Dr. Shankar is sitting at her desk. You can see a lab behind her. It looks dark. Like it looks like there's some like just a few overhead lights on, but none of the main lights. She looks tired, and she's like looking right at the camera, and it's dated. I would say like a week before the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I think she says something about, she's like, she says It's all gone more or less as I expected. I should have the rest of the data that I need from the lab in a week, maybe 2 at the outset. I've managed to turn them all against each other, which at this point is unfortunate and might result in some of the equipment being damaged, but I'm hoping it doesn't go that way. I spoke with Taylor last night, gave him the phone number, told him that if he feels threatened again to call, that someone would be there to help. And now we just sit by the phone and we wait. She like sighs and she looks down, and she says, he still hasn't told me about his last experiment. The big one. The one that apparently worked. It's frustrating. It's frustrating working with these people. I understand why. It's fine. I'm not going to get into the politics. Anyway, if you see this, and she kind of like looks as if she's like speaking to someone specific now, and she's like, you can go ahead and erase all the data on the university server. I'll be moving to the main lab soon. I've set up the transfer. You can go ahead and delete it. And then she presses the button.
How suspicious.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I think that
Yeah, Lyric is like just looking back and forth between the two of you, and they're
Yeah,
like,
Kigby has been silent this whole time.
yeah.
well, I think I was probably right then. Some outside influences working against our mentors. Seems like this Dr. Shankar had a hand in it as well. But which person specifically? Or who was involved? I guess we still don't know.
Well, yeah, and Lyric is like, but what did she mean about turning them against each other? What was that about? And she's
Well-
looking at you, Kaguya, like you have answers for some reason, or they're like, what was your mentor doing?
Making me.
Why did she care about it? And what does this have to do with Ocean or the others?
Well, we saw signs of them turning against each other, or at least I did, in the vision that the spirit shared with me. So, stands to
Right.
reason that she wanted something from Taylor. But the easiest way to get it was to isolate him and make him desperate.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see. I've been looking through the rest of her files. I can definitely see why she would have been interested in the processes Dr. Taylor was experimenting in.
Yes, her research would relate. And it seems that he had something useful that she wanted. And she got it. But where would this main lab be? Is there any sign of this person who came to clean up?
No, there's nothing else I can get really from here.
I think if you look at the damage that was caused, because you have this sort of half corrupted video file, if you essentially like look at the teeth marks on the file, you might be able to match them up, but you need help. You'd have to go to like somebody else or like put it out there in the web and be like, does anybody recognize these? Which puts you at risk of being detected, but there are also lots of other virtual adepts that have like had run-ins with, this kind of thing.
All the ghosts on the internet, all the spooks and creeps.
Yeah. Or alternatively, I can try and make that final push to be able to like perceive the spirit version of Data, which is what I've been trying to learn to do, and I think that would also probably give me like some more insights into like what actually happened. Because so far it's been metadata, but if I could actually experience it firsthand in the same way that you had, you kind of downloaded the data off of the trap spirit. Like there's some stuff there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you'd need to get a hold of, like, yeah, theoretically, you could find the embodiment of the program in the digital web or something like it and then talk to it, but you'd have to track it down, right? Like, you still don't have it available. It's like finding the chewed carcass and guessing whether it was attacked by a lion or a hyena or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say to the two of them, I think this is as much as I can get by myself. I'd need to put out a call to some other people. I mean, I don't even know who specifically, but there are definitely people who will have had experience with this kind of file erasure before. It's very deliberate, like it said. You can go ahead and delete it all, and it's done it in a very, very unorthodox way. The stuff I had to do to find this, it's not really strictly how it's supposed to work, if you see what I mean.
Well, it just seems as though we are getting in over our heads a little. I'm worried.
So Lyric,
Yeah.
when you say that, Lyric says, well, maybe we should talk to Litany and Victoria, and maybe they can help. I mean, they should know, right, about what happened. And you can see them getting out there. They're like getting their phone out while you're talking.
They
Yeah.
should both come here and see this. Assuming Victoria will make the time.
Yeah, they nod and they walk out. They leave, and you can hear like the phone ringing as they go. Litany, when you're at work, do you have your phone on you, or are you going to get like a voicemail on your break?
No, I have my phone on me. I always keep it in my pocket.
Okay. Yeah, your phone, you feel it start to buzz. What do we see you doing when we cut to you?
I'm like plating some stuff. I'm like, yeah, doing like the.
It's probably the late end of the evening. Like you already took a while doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think the kitchen is like busy still, but like by late end, do you mean like 10, 11, 1 a.m.?
Probably like closer to midnight. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's like I'm plating some fancy dessert.
Yeah.
I've got like 3 plates of them out, and I'm putting like
You're drizzling something.
yeah. There's like I'm putting gold leaf on.
You're shaving a truffle.
I'm like very carefully applying gold leaf to like the last of the 3 plates, and there's a server on the other side, like waiting for me.
Yeah. Okay.
And so yeah, and I can't. I ignore the call until I've finished applying the leaf because it's very delicate.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, chef, and she comes over and like gives it the once over before it can go out, and I go to grab the call, which I may have missed.
Yeah, I think you miss the call, but you see that it's whatever the latest incarnation of Lyric's phone number is, and they're probably leaving you a voicemail.
Okay, yeah, I try to pick up, but it's like not working. So yeah. I'll like call them back. Yeah, I'll call them back right away, but they're leaving me a voicemail, so I get a busy signal. So then I just hang up and wait for the voicemail.
Sure. Yeah. So the voicemail is, it's Lyric, and they're like, hey, so you should call me. And then they hang up.
Yeah. And so I'll like look over the show and be like, can I take a quick call?
Yeah, you probably get just like the nod, like, yeah.
Yeah. I go into the fridge.
Okay. All right.
I go into the fridge and call them.
Okay. All right. So, it rings once, and they pick up, and they're like, Litany?
Yep, it's me.
Hey, so Yori did the computer thing, and I think that like Kaguya and Yori, you hear like the voicemail get left, and then the voice gets like quieter as Lyric like goes
Mhm.
downstairs, and then Lyric like gets kind of quiet, and they're like, "I'm really worried
About what?
because just what was on the we watched a video, and this doctor that Iori was looking for, she said that Dr. Taylor was involved in some stuff and that something bad happened to our mentors and it was probably his fault. And
Hmm.
I don't, I'm really worried and I feel like I'm in a little bit over my head and
Are you safe there?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Are they
mean,
making you feel unsafe?
it's not, it's not that. It's just like, what if, I mean, what if it's Taylor's fault because and everybody's gone and maybe what if Ocean's hurt or
It's
I
okay. Calm down. Just take a breath for a second. Um, did the video talk about Kaguya at all?
I mean not directly but
Did they
kind
come up?
of. Um I mean she was talking about some experiment and that's what Kaguya is, right? And
I don't think any of us really know what Kaguya is.
I was getting some really bad feelings just thinking about the whole situation and I wanted to let you know and I think we should talk to Victoria too
Mm-hmm.
and
That's probably true. I'm still at work for another hour, but you could probably come hang out here till closing if you want, or I can try to head over there afterwards.
I think that Iori and Kaguya want everybody to, get together and talk about it and stuff, but Victoria is going to be busy at least until tomorrow, I'm sure. So, yeah, maybe I can just come over for a bit. I
Yeah,
don't
it's fine.
Okay, okay.
Just tell the host that you're waiting for me. Are you hungry? I'll send something out for you.
Okay, so we I think we see both of you like you're having this conversation, your breath misting in the fridge,
Yeah, in the
and
walk-in.
yeah, and Lyric is like putting stuff in their bag. Their hands still
Mhm.
kind of like dirty with paint. Um, and yeah, and so they do that. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna leave now. Can you uh, can you tell Victoria?
Yeah, I'll text her.
Okay, uh, bye. And they hang up. And Yuri and Kaguya, I don't think that you like it. Just like Lyric goes downstairs and you can't hear them talking anymore. You don't know this right away, but they leave. They go out the side door and they just don't come back
Yep.
upstairs. What are the two of you talking about in your room?
I think I sit quietly for a little while, just like looking again, like just seeing, and obviously not getting any more, but just making sure. And I think I turn to Kaguya and I say, I was holding off asking exactly, but I mean, I just want to find out what happened. What are you going to do when we find Dr. Taylor? Like, what's your end game? Yeah.
Well, I feel like I am owed a little more than he gave me.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna go see the wizard, and Kaguya's gonna get a heart, and Iori's gonna get some bravery, and Litany's gonna get a soul that she can eat.
Yeah, so Kaguya like kind of like slows down for a bit, like there's this long pause, and then yeah, I'll say like I would want from him what all of you got for free. Just being born by accident. I was made and was not given, well,
Well,
there are things missing.
maybe if we. I mean, I know this isn't really how it works, or maybe even what you want, but in finding this out, people are interested in you. Even if it's only instrumentally, you can find out what that is. Maybe that's going to help you even to spitefully do the exact opposite of what was intended. I don't know. I hope it helps.
It does have a certain appeal.
Where's Blerick? I would have thought they'd be finished on the phone by now.
I'll go look for them. I walk downstairs.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they've definitely vamoosed.
Yeah, so I like look around and I walk back upstairs. It's like they've left.
I'm almost certain I made clear. And I thought we were beginning to understand each other.
Lyric is scared. That much is obvious.
Sure, but leaving this place, which is the most safe one we've got, seems a little illogical to me. But then again, I guess they don't understand that it is in the same way that I
Or they're
really.
right. It isn't.
What do you mean?
This is the part where Kaguya's gonna harvest your organs, Iori. Sorry, we were talking about this before the session. You're dead now.
Yeah, just like draws a knife. No,
He just wants what you got
Iori.
for free, Iori. Your lungs.
All your organs.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try and knife fight me. That's the one thing I'm good at.
Sword.
Yeah, no, so Kaguya just says, like, Iori, if these people, this Dr. Shankar and whoever they're associated with, can do what we have seen them do, or at least what I've seen them do, then, the only thing keeping us safe is luck or anonymity. There's very fragile walls that we're living behind. So no, I think Lyric is right to be scared.
Okay. Well, do you suggest I leave? I pack stuff up. I have all of this to take with me. Oh, and I need to see Desmond. Before anything goes down, I need to make sure I have that. It's going to be really important.
The only thing tangible keeping us safe is each other. You can leave your things here. I'm sure that's fine. But just remember that we're all we have. I hope the others are remembering that too.
Yep, I think, I just let that sit and just think about it for a while. I do definitely need to call Desmond though, once the scene has ended, and get my sword, because it has been many days now. And I want it.
Where's my damn sword? I want that thing that I didn't have to do anything for.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to check in on the Desmond situation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So Kaguya, where do you go? Do you just go home?
Yeah, I think I'm texting Litany a bunch.
Okay, cool. So Iori, you call
I will
Call Desmond?
ICQ Desmond.
yeah, exactly. You got the main line to Desmond. Okay. Yeah, he responds to you right away. He's just like, Iori, what up?
Yes, I just messaged back. Things are getting a bit tense. Would love to know how you're getting on procuring the item for me.
Just coming along. I mean, And he just, there's like a pause. He's like, yeah, it's coming along. And then like, just like shift 4 a bunch of times.
Hmm.
I have a beat on something I think you'd like, but I mean, I can't front the cash for it.
I know, like, I'm like, I look over to on my desk, and there's probably like still the bribe money from, from
Totally.
Whitney there.
You've got a big, yeah, you've got a big envelope full of cash right there.
I'm like, I think I might be able to help.
You're just typing NP.
NP shift 444.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you just like pick up the envelope of cash.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, he says, yeah, if you want to get me the cash, I'll put in the order. I'll get it for you.
Okay. Yep, totally. We will do that. Oh, actually, like head over. I'll be like, where are you at? Like, times of the essence, sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah, he sends you the address. Actually, I guess he just sends you his address. He's like, oh, I'm just at home. And he tells you where he's at.
Okay, I will like get on the bus over there then, since like everybody's spread out anyway.
Okay.
I need to go and get prepped, get my special focus, whatever it's called.
Okay. So, Litany, are you responsive to Kaguya's text messages after they start to message you?
Yeah, I mean, I probably send one for every, 2 or 3 that they're sending because I'm working.
Okay.
So they're like, like a bunch of messages come in from them, and then, like a minute or two, and then it's like catches up like red, and then I'm like send a reply, and then it's like a few more, kind of like that. Yeah, so I'm replying and everything.
Okay. So, what does that conversation look like?
Yeah, like Kaguya is just like curious about like, hey, does Victoria have any information for us? Like, is there anything that we can like move on with? Also, you need to see this like new thing. Yori was able to find the doctor. Blah blah blah. Like, just keeping her up to speed on what's going on.
Yeah, and I'll be like, yeah, Lyric left me a voicemail. Things were unclear. What was this video actually? Like, and I'll be, yeah.
And I'm just like, you need to see it. Period. I use a period in text message, which is like harsh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm still at work. Can you send it to me?
I'm like, nope. Only exists in Iori's sanctum or like computer.
Yeah, and so I'll be like, okay, well, is this like, does this need to happen tonight? Should I head over there after work? What's up?
I'm just like, sooner the better.
Okay, and I'm like, are you still there?
I'm like running errands and it's midnight.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. And then I'll start texting you. I'm like, I hear there's a video I have to see. Are you home? Should I come by after work? What's going on?
Yeah, I'll message back as like, yeah, everyone needs to see it. Just out grabbing something. I will meet you back at least by the end of your shift.
Okay. So I'm trying to like finish my shift and also like arrange like 4 different things via text message right now.
Yeah.
And I think like as an afterthought, like after, these other conversations have quiet down, I'll like open back up my message thread with Desmond and I'll be like, I'm not sure what's going on, but maybe just like keep an eye out for yourself. Something's up. I don't know what yet. And just like, and I like write the whole thing out and like stare at it for a while, and like put my phone away and then pull my phone back out and hit send.
Okay. Yeah, he replies right away with just like, whoa, heavy. Okay, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah. And I don't say anything else.
Okay.
Text messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we probably get like a short like vignette of scenes just to like see what everybody is doing, and it's very like clear how like kind of isolated you all are from each other, right? Like Lyric shows up and we get a scene of like Litany and Lyric is looking really shaken, and like Litany, how are you like taking care of Lyric, or are you like distracted or
Yeah. I think the I think it's like really near the end of the night. So I sent a message up to front of house and I'm like, my friend's showing up. Just seat them at the bar. I'll pay their tab. And I'll like send food out to them. And if I can slip out of the kitchen for a minute, I'll like pop out and be like, hey, it should be about this long time done. Eat whatever you want.
Mhm.
Um, and just like ask the bartender to keep an eye on them for me. Like not in a like like surveillance way, but like take care of my friend way.
Yeah, and
Um,
Lyric looks really out of place. Like they're pretty good grungy, and they have their like big backpack, and the place itself is like quite nice. And you know that they would never like eat here at a place like
yeah,
this otherwise.
but it's
Um,
like I'm just hoping that because it's late and I have
yeah,
like
no, and it's totally fine with your like work,
yeah.
but yeah, uh, they're feeling like out of place.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, and then I think the two of you like they ask to stay at your house, like sleep on your couch or whatever,
Yeah,
and
it's fine.
yeah, and they just seem really like shaky, like they're really uncertain. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and I'll explain that that I've talked to Kaguya and to Iori, and they both say that I need to come and watch this video,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna swing by the afterglow after work. I'll be like, "Do you want to come with me? Do you want to head straight to my place? What are
Uh,
you doing?"
I think that they're like we should talk to Victoria first. I don't think we should just go there. I think she needs to be there with us.
Yeah, and I've probably sent Victoria a text message, but like not necessarily expecting that she'll open it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, and I'll like open my messages back up and see if it says it's been read or not.
No, no, not yet.
And I'm like looking at the clock, and it's probably like 1 a.m. by this point, and I'm like, and I phone her. I know it's her cell phone. It's not her landline, and I know she definitely has a landline.
Yeah,
This is definitely her cell phone.
totally.
If she didn't want to be disturbed, she should put it on Do Not Disturb.
Of course. But she is one of those people that never does that. So,
No, of course she doesn't.
okay. So that's
That's what I'm banking on.
yeah, we cut away from you. So you're like you sigh and hit call.
Yeah.
And then Iori, I think we see you getting to Desmond's place. He lives in an apartment over top of a pawn shop. Um, and so you like we see you pressing the buzzer and then like it buzzing and the kind of like grated metal door opening and you going up the stairs. You kind of like squeeze past. There's like a on an old lady that's like coming downstairs, holding her dog. She's got like a little dog. She's going to walk in the middle of the night. And you get to Desmond's door, and you go inside. And yeah, his apartment is like pretty small and made smaller by how cluttered it is. There's a like he's got a table kind of in the middle of the room, like an old kind of like diner table. It's all chipped, and it's got a half-built model of like a World War II airplane on it. Um, he's got posters, like some posters up on the wall, and then a whole bunch of posters like in a box on the floor, like still like wrapped up. And yeah, you hear him in the other room. He's like shouts for you to like he says, "Come on in, sit down. I'll be out in a second." Um,
Okay.
and then yeah, he comes out, and the two of you have like a short conversation. And you give him the envelope.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he takes it from you, and he's like, we get that kind of like cinematic language for like the deal being done. Like he nods, like maybe you like shake hands, um, and yeah, and then do you leave or do you stay hang out with Desmond for a bit?
Um.
So actually, I think he
I'm.
asks you. I think he's like, you want a coffee or something?
Um. Yeah, I'll just like very quickly text Litany again and be like, are you coming by tonight or
Yeah,
what are questions?
then that's actually a good place to end it too, where you're like, "Are you coming?" or dot dot dot, and you like send it, and then we cut to Kaguya, and Kaguya, where are you at? Where do you go? Do you just stay and wait?
I think I go home and I'm just like have this very like frenetic, like freaking out kind of energy. And
Hmm.
I'm like pacing around my apartment and like stressing out, basically.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so maybe that's a good like last scene, right? Is just like all the Iori and Litany trying to like connect and like trying to get Victoria involved and everything, and then just like yeah, Kaguya just like pacing around
Like,
nervously.
I wonder if Kaguya has set up like somewhere in the house to finish the scene on, like the thing that they are planning to use to like kill their mentor or something. Like, is that a thing that they want to
I
do?
mean, there's
Put like a
already
gun
3
in
of
a
them in
drawer
that
somewhere?
apartment.
It's probably just some like semi cliched scene involving a mirror or something.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, or like your retainer, like Hugo and Sky, trying to like calm you down or whatever. They're like, "What's wrong? What's going on?"
Yeah. So I'm just like surrounded by
Like you kind of like
photos of
yeah,
myself.
exactly. You like being angry with yourself basically, and they're trying to like calm you down. Cool. I like it. All
Cool.
right. Well, we're shit's ramping up. It's getting real. So we'll see what happens when Victoria finds out about all this business and where we go next in the next episode. So I'm gonna go and do what I do. Why don't y'all outro yourselves for me? Let's start with Andrew this time around, shall we?
Yeah, I'm Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at Comedian Crow. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/actualfactual. You will know if I'm streaming on Twitch because I will say so on Twitter. Hillary.
I'm Hillary. I'm as a sparrow on Twitter and elsewhere. Um, my Twitter is personal, talks about feelings, human stuff. I post pictures of food, my own cute face. Other things that I do, I write reviews for Shut Up and Sit Down. I have tabletop stuff, and I write a blog. The Patreon is patreon.com/McNaughty. It's linked in the chat right here, which you don't have if you're on YouTube, but that's fine. You can look it up. And that's most of my stuff. Those other things. Sorry, but I don't even care what I was about to say because I'm passing this right on over to Dave. Dave? Just shout. Just it's
Really
fine.
heavy. Now that I've got it, to show you that I have it. There you go.
What is that, Dave? Please explain.
I'm really glad I gave you that $500.
It's my air quotes bastard sword. I mean, it's future, but it's not. I just wanted to show off at least once because I kept talking about it in the show, and to have an actual prop makes sense.
It's beautiful.
All right.
It's
Well,
huge. It's huge and shiny and beautiful. And please don't hurt yourself.
You went a load of focus, and I was like, is he holding his cat again? That's not a cat.
All shiny
Oh
and
my
chrome.
god. Oh my god.
That's really heavy. I'm not strong at all.
So
Sorry.
aside from literally being your character, tell us more things about yourself, Dave.
Sure. So I'm I'm Dave the Human on Twitter with an underscore in between the things. If you want to find out what I'm doing, I've gotten back into streaming again. We've been playing a modded version of Final Fantasy VII, which is really fun. It's like rediscovering a game that you know really well because like everything is different. So that's a lot of fun. Apart from that, and that's on twitch.tv/Orath, which is like spelt this way, like that name. I just put in chat. Yeah, I need to update the mobile command, but I haven't. So, yeah, that's like mostly everything. And now I'm going to try and put this sword back, even though it's too heavy to lift for myself.
Good stuff. Well, Dave struggles with a sword. If you want to join in the discussion, I've got a Q&A thread up on the Roll20 subreddit, so you can go check that out. Ask questions about the show. I think we're likely to do another 3 or 4 episodes of Mage before we do a little season 1 post talk. So I hope you'll stick around to see where the rest of the chaos goes. Tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, we're going to be doing a special 2-player episode. Me and Andrew are going to take a look at Burning Wheel and get ourselves refamiliarized with the fight rules because they are complicated, and I thought it would be cool to just step aside from the main narrative for a little bit and dig around at those. So I've got the account all set up, and we're going to draw some cards and have a sword fight. We'll see if the Rooster can beat Princess. I believe in you, Rooster. Other than that, the show will be back next week at 11 o'clock Pacific. And if you're interested in seeing some of the other cool stuff that Roll20 can do, be sure to check out Sunday afternoon over at ItMeJP. We're starting Roleplay Balance of Power, which uses the API and some very cool plugins for that Star Wars action. So you can come check that out as well. Everything is all collected on Twitter at Roll20app, and you can visit us on the web at roll20.net and do your very own role-playing. So I hope that you do. And we will see you next time that you are around. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Bye, nerds.
See you later.